Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. This is 1520 WBZW, your hometown with Debbie O'Brien. You can go online and listen to us at 1520wbzw.com. You can get the app 1520wbzw and just click on the app, free. And you can call into our show 407-774-8255. And I want to say welcome to my guest, Raymond Warthen. And you said that I can call you Ray, which is wonderful.
Everyone calls me Ray, yes.
Perfect, Ray. And then your wife is going to be here in a little bit.
She's fighting traffic, yes.
Oh, no. I know. It's a Monday. So you are from Zion Farms and Market.
Yes, we're Zion.
And this is a big buzz right now because, our town, we have been begging and asking and hoping and praying for a farmer's market. And people were like, okay, maybe we'll try. Oh, we're going to dabble. Blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, it was a tidal wave. You said, I'm owning it.
There's time, and 2018 is a new year, and Zion has been awakened.
I think this is awesome. And then when you sent me the note, how many people had showed up?
Yeah, that was a surprise.
Yes. We were hungry.
We have plenty of food. We have chef demonstrations, and this weekend we're going to have St. Patrick's Day. Obviously going to have the famous corned beef and cabbage. Local chefs going to cook it up, and the cabbage is coming right from our garden. We have 4 cabbages on reserve right now from the last market. People loved it so much. They're literally lined up and ready to go.
My goodness. Okay, so are you the owner or
I'm the founder, one of the founders. Me and my wife are the founders. And the owner, Mr. Maxwell, he couldn't be here today. He's a busy man himself.
Okay.
He allowed that vision to come through. Great guy. He's a retired Vietnam veteran, 80 years old. He doesn't look 80, a day over 80, but lots of good energy. He allowed the platform for us to bring it to life, and Zion has arrived.
The platform for the market or for the farm?
Platform for the whole farm as a whole. The market was one aspect of the sustainability factor for the program we have for inner city agriculture and archery. Okay. And we have a program for not only inner city youth of Apopka, but other students throughout our Orlando area for agricultural education as well. And archery, we're being coached by one of the local archers in Geneva, Coach Phil Graves. He's in the process of helping us out and giving a hand. He's a level 4 archery master.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what we saw as far as the little tidbit of the market is literally the little tidbit of the whole entire Zion.
Once you see, it's like it's an experience. It's like people come there and say, I didn't know all of this was here. I had no idea. And yes.
Can you tell us where you're located?
We're located at 423 East Keene Road. And for those who don't know, just my wife made a new pin on Google. So if you Google Zion Farmers and Market, you'll see a picture of the red gate. And she made a pin. She's great with digital media. She does all of that stuff in the snap of a finger. She's way better at it than me. I handle the construction aspect. She does all of the digital media platform because she does that for a living. So we're going to have more signs out this weekend by the Circle K gas station at the corner of Cleric on Keene Road. You go 500 feet down to the left-hand side, and you'll see a red gate, and we're going to have more signs. So you won't miss it this weekend. We've got more additional signs out on Keene Road and Claricona.
Oh, I know exactly where you are.
Yes.
You're tucked away, but not anymore.
Right.
because of that Circle K, that's brand new.
Right. That's you just literally go west 500 feet, and you see the red gate, and we put up a new white fence that has solar lights on the front of it. So we just installed a new white, a 4-tier picket fence, and we just put a new white fence up there as well. We just installed that about a week ago.
Wow!
We upgraded the whole area. You'll see our Zion Farm. It says market Saturday from 9 to 2 p.m. So you would not miss it this time. Come around. So, yes.
Yeah, because that was the shortcut road to get to the other side.
Yeah.
That's what you did. You went down Apopka Coe Road, right? And then you'd make the right-hand turn, and it felt like you were going into the middle of nowhere.
The darkness, going into the darkness.
But now they did fix up that corner. They're developing all that. So this farm has been there for a while.
It's been for long. It's over 40 years old. The actual farm itself,
wow.
And it's definitely been an adventure. To people see where it was and where it is now. One great aspect about the farm is that we also have it's a full-scale farm. So there's the horses, the cows, the chickens. We're going to have fainting goats coming out there. They'll be coming out soon. You can play with the goats, and they They just one of the aspects of the farm. On the pony rides for the kids as well. And, it's really good, great experience.
This is very exciting, because everybody was talking about, how they want to get back to basics and farm to table and yada, yada. And we have, which we're very blessed to have, the Long and Scott Farms, which is over there in Zellwood area off of Jones.
Absolutely.
And then we've had on, what is it? The Naturals. What is that one farm? Oh, I shouldn't have said anything.
It's okay. It's all right.
It's the one that's off of West Road. Oh, Nick, do you remember the name? What's that one? The Naturals.
Lake Meadow.
That's it. Lake Meadow Naturals.
I heard about it. You have to see it, but I heard about it.
It's on the other side of where.
Oh.
No, it isn't. It's a little bit farther.
Okay.
So now to know that we have another choice.
Yes.
And it's right here in Apopka.
Right in Apopka.
Okay, my heart's like.
And eventually we're going to go to a weekly schedule. We're just starting out every first and third Saturday to work out all the kinks, the do's and don'ts, all the good stuff, the lessons learned. But eventually Zion Farms will go to a weekly schedule. Working things out as far as that. And another good feature we're going to have is we're going to have another event that we're going to have is called Food from Zion. And the Food from Zion is going to be an event primarily geared towards the adults, where we literally, instead of having from farm to table, we're going to have Food for Zion. That's our version of farm to table. We're going to have some local chefs. And we actually have a chef now that's in L.A. He's filming in L.A. He just called me last night. He was on Cutthroat Kitchen where he won. And he was also on Master Chef. And he's going to be also one of our local chefs to come out and do Food from Zion with the adult 4 to 5 course meals right there on the farm.
Oh my gosh, that is such a hot thing going on too.
Yes.
Really, that is you are truly.
Yes, it's going to be great. So the chef will be out this weekend. His chef night. Orlando, he'll be out this weekend, and he did a cooking demonstration last week with turnip greens right from the garden and the sweet potatoes, and people loved it. I didn't know people literally bought just the turnips. And we had turnips the size of like mini basketballs. And we don't know until we go out to the garden and look. And you peel the greens back. You're like, oh, wow. And people loved it. It was really great. So he'll be out this weekend cooking the corned beef and cabbage.
Wow.
Right from the garden.
So this market, you did this. Okay, so this is right now it's every other week. And your first time you did this was not this weekend. It was the weekend before.
So this weekend was a recovery weekend because we're constantly doing upgrades to the market. We have a dump truck guy. Right before I got here today, I got a call from one of the gentlemen who was at the market. He loved the market so much. He said, I'm going to donate my dump truck services to you all to bring rock out, because being on the farm, it's natural sand. And you people, unfortunately, had one person get stuck. We got them out. But they said, Ray, what you guys are doing is amazing. I'm going to bring my dump truck out here to you guys.
Wait a minute. You get stuck. I was driving on it.
Yeah, driving on it because we haven't had rain in so long. Not only the rain hydraulically compacts the soil, but because I haven't had rain, it gets real dry. And with the amount of traffic we have running through the parking area, the sand got really soft. So he's going to bring us today at 4:30. As soon as I leave here, I'm going back out to the farm, meet up with the dump truck driver. He's going to bring us some stone out there to cover and protect all areas that have been softened because we haven't had the rain.
So now you have a designated parking lot.
Yes, designated parking lot and a way to get through. It's been a blessing. I just seen. I didn't even know that many people showed up until my wife told me. So because I was so busy. We do garden tours. I do the garden tours myself. And I told we're an organic garden. We don't use any chemicals or pesticides or stuff that run off and kill the fish in ponds that are leaked down into the water system. We use, I told people we use like Epsom salt, eucalyptus oil, cedar oil, and pretty much like apple cider vinegar. And we teach the people in the garden about the alkaline and acidity of the soils. And I do the garden tours myself. We're going to maybe have 2 or 3 this upcoming Saturday where I'll do them myself. And we teach people how to reduce the pH in the soil using regular coffee grounds and other natural means. And just a whole educational experience you have walking through the garden. We teach them about companion gardening. We have raised beds set up where you have different plants that get along together, and we have an example where plants don't get along together. And a lot of people don't know that until they start gardening. They realize, what's going on with my plants? Why are they dying? What's happening? Even strawberries. Most people plant strawberries, and they let them grow on the ground. Now, really, then strawberries start dying. Well, you have to have strawberries in the air, suspended, because the ground will naturally suck out of the moisture out of them and kill them. So on Zion Farms, we use pine needles. So in our garden, a raised bed, you see the strawberries in a row, and you see pine needles at the bottom, and the pine needles give it a nice pillow cushion, so the strawberries can lay on, and they just soak up the sun and get sweeter and sweeter by the day.
Wow. Dude, because the closest strawberry farm that we had is over there in Mount Dora, which is off
Bit
of
a drive.
And they've closed it from You Pick Me.
Oh, really? They're no longer. Wow. Well, we're going to try to bring that aspect back. It's just, strawberries, they like a specific pH, like 6.5 to 6.8. They like that, so we have to get the soil corrected to where they like it. And so far, like I said, with the cold weather, the cold fronts have been coming through. We lost a lot of crops, but they're slowly starting to come back. We had a whole pepper garden where we probably the first in the area where we have the pepper called the Chocolate Ghost. And the Chocolate Ghost is a ghost pepper mixed with a jalapeno pepper. And we blended them together. And they just
delicious.
I've yet to try it. I'm scared almost. But then we have a greenhouse where we stage all of our seeds, so that all the new growth. And we teach people how to make your own potting soil. And you can literally take your own soil with compost and cow manure. We have volunteers.
You need to get with the worm farm, too.
I do, yeah.
Have you?
Worms are good. I want to see worms. If people like worms or yuccas, no, I love to see worms. I mean, you have some good stuff out there.
Yes, and that's it. That's here in Apopka.
Here in Apopka.
Oh my gosh! When you meet her, you'll fall in love with her. Yeah. Really.
I want to see worms.
Look at this. We're going to get everybody working together.
One big one, and that's what I want to create, a whole community where even the chefs on board, all their food and all their fruit and veggie waste, they don't throw it away. They bring it back to us, and we compost it. Yes, all of your juice vendors, everything they have, everything has a second term use. Even on our archery range, we use hay as a backdrop. To protect the berry, we have a sand berm.
Okay, I'm sitting here thinking, how'd you get all this done in a week? I know. So this must be something that you've been working, and you were like, and the ground is shaking, and you're like, I'm telling you, we're going to have that market. It's going to come, boom.
This has been about a year. We've been working at it. Like I said, the hurricane set us back. We lost panels in the hurricane. Yes. We had so many setbacks, but perseverance, and we're not going to stop. We're going to keep pressing forward and make it better. We're
going to talk more about this when we come back from the break. This is awesome. So incredibly exciting. And your wife's here. We'll be right back. Thanks for listening. 1520 WBZW, your hometown. Debbie O'Brien. We'll be right back. All right, we're good. So I didn't test your earphones. They're optional if you want them on. And then when you talk in. This is what happens. We started talking. You know who I was talking about is Bernie Morrow, and her farm is Our Vital Earth. And remember, Nick, she was on it with the earthworms, and so that's what I got so excited about this. And then I thought, well, I'll just call her. Oh, really? Seriously, it's a commercial. So now I'm gonna text her. But I wanted to give you that information because truly, this is how our community helps one another.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh! So I've got Raymond and Sherette Worthen here, and they are with Zion Farms and Market. They had promoted, actually it wasn't very long before you decided online, this is me catching it, it was like 2 weeks, in 2 weeks you had a market. People were talking about it, and they kind of bounced back and forth of who's going to do it, and you just grabbed it and said, I don't know if you realized this, but that was happening. Wow. And you grabbed it and you put it out there, and
Right. I mean, the timing couldn't have been more perfect. We know that the community is starved for an area where people can come together and really commune and get great food and great entertainment. And not only that, Zion Farms and Market, I don't know if you know this, but we are a nonprofit organization. And so it's also about bringing nutritional education to the community. So we have food deserts here in our community. You know, these are areas where people need to go more than a mile away to get fresh fruits and vegetables. And so we found that we need to grow our own vegetables. We need organic vegetables, you know, products that don't have pesticides, they don't have chemicals, and, you know, really head on combat the issue of obesity in our community, of diabetes, high cholesterol, all of these ailments that people are facing, and share this education with the community and provide those fruits and vegetables that they can get at an affordable price.
So you're going to have a farmer's market. Would that be open every day, or right now what we just talked about? It's every other week,
every first and third Saturday of the month.
And then that's what you were saying. The goal would be eventually to get the schedule, so that you would be a stop to buy stuff.
Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness. But in the meantime, you are now establishing yourself as a place that we can go as an open farmer's market. And then here you just mentioned, Ray, that you're doing tours.
Yeah. You get tours of the garden.
Of the garden. We found it was a big hit from the first market. People loved it, and I'll continue it. So feel free to come on out, and I can tell you the whole history of the garden, how it came to be. So that's going to be great.
And you know, the cool thing is we're so disconnected from our food because we just pick it up from the grocery store. And people are like, wow, that's how broccoli looks before it's cut. Yeah. Wow, that's what cabbage looks like. You know, oh, that's not a carrot. That's just, well, the carrot's underneath in the soil. And so you find kids are intrigued and they want to learn about it. Yeah. And, you know, they're learning so much just being out there and seeing it. And, you know, people even get to pick their own cabbage. They come out and pick their own.
So we have a couple on reserve. But one person was so excited about the carrot, I pulled out of the ground. It's like, oh, my God, they bought the one carrot. It's like, yeah, sure, you can have it. So we're going to have more. But he's like, no, I want that one. I was like, oh, it's go for it. And like I said, it's a whole educational standpoint for nutrition and how to farm as well, and how to trim and prune your trees back, how to thin out carrots, how to thin out onions. Like we had one row where one row of onions grew, and we were able to make 3 rows out of that one row of onions we initially planted. And how to use different products like natural products like Epsom salt is a good mineral to use when you're transplanting your plants. So a lot of times when you transplant them, some of them don't make it. Well, the Epsom salt is a natural mineral to use. You spray the plant, and even when you're planting it, sprinkle a little bit in the hole you're planting. It gives a natural boost to bring it right back to life.
Really?
So Epsom salt is a really good nutrient to use when you're transplanting plants from one area to another, because the plants go through shock. And so the Epsom salt is another good natural way.
That's something, you know, as a parent, we always thought that we would be the cool parents that would have a garden in our backyard. And so you talk about it, and then you buy 50,000 of those little 10-cent packets of seeds. And then you're like, oh, my gosh, we are going to feed our neighborhood because that's what we are.
See,
and that you barely get in. I think for all the years we've been in this house, we've had 4 tomatoes, like no bigger than a golf ball. But the pictures on those little 10-cent packets make them look like they're going to be the size of grapefruit.
They add the color to them, Photoshop. They look great.
Yeah.
They make them look good.
And the other thing you were talking about, you know, having how you're fertilizing and this, that, and the other. You know, we've got the trees because we go through a lot of lemons and a lot of limes. Okay, the limes.
Yeah.
We don't know when to pick them because they're green. They're green starting out, and they're green when they're ripe. So when are they ripe? We don't know.
Gotcha. We'll find out. We tell people, she asked for, I think it was rhubarb. I said, hey, we're like a local a store here. If we don't have it, we'll try to grow it for you.
You have rhubarb?
Not yet. So we're going to try it. She said, you guys I said, now that she mentioned it, I wrote it down. We're going to try it. We're going to give it a shot.
Yes.
Because we know some things definitely won't grow in the area. You know, some produce we just can't because of the zone and area.
Right.
With the southern region, so
we're zone 9.
Yeah.
So you have to
Look
know.
at that.
All right.
Get something there.
It's because we've tried.
Yeah. So the cool thing is, I mean, it is a lot of work to get things where they are today, and we still have some hurdles ahead of us. So we're always looking for volunteers. You know, you mentioned
you
don't want to go in your backyard and figure it out. Well, you can come on out and, you know, garden with us and get back to nature, get those hands dirty, and have the experience without having to maintain it all on your own, right? So
very good.
Yes.
So all right, so I'm gonna reiterate or talk about this. The volunteers, you know, we have the high schools here that need this community service hours.
Absolutely.
So I can turn in your name for that too.
Perfect. We have a lot of middle schoolers and high schoolers come out today and volunteer with us.
Yep.
So always looking for helping hands, especially when you're dealing with an organic farm. There's a lot more weeds to pull because you don't have those chemicals combating the weeds.
No Roundup.
No Roundup. Not good for you.
Hand pick and rake and go.
Oh, that's good to know. And that is very difficult to do.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, but we feel like it's worth it.
Absolutely.
We definitely feel like
I'm
it's
going to
worth
agree
it.
with you.
And we're teaching them different techniques and tools to use to help utilize the time. And for me being out there, I was started at 313 pounds. I'm down to 289 pounds.
Wow.
And I'm off of high blood pressure medication.
Very good. Congratulations
thank
to you.
It's just how much work and they say diet and exercise, and our diet's changed from buying store-bought food to eating from the garden.
Well, and I'm sure when you pick it, this was like, I never liked blueberries. I never cared for them. And my friend's like, let's go blueberry picking. And I thought, all right, it's a night to go. It's a day to go out with my friend, right? I never ate so many blueberries in my life because just picking them from the bush and the warmth of the sun. Oh my gosh,
it tastes better. It's fresh. You don't realize how much that refrigerator zaps the flavor out of your food. When you have fresh vegetables and fresh fruits, it's amazing.
And now add organic organic to it because now you don't have chemicals in there.
I gave a strawberry last night from the garden. It was so sweet. It was like you could just tell by the color and texture of the strawberry.
Oh my gosh.
It was it was beautiful.
And so, we're still at the beginning phase, and there's a lot of harvests that will come up over the next few weeks. So we're really excited to see everything, really come to fruition and get people out there.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take a break, and then you can stay, right? We'll talk a little bit more.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Thanks for tuning in. 1520 WBZW. I have Ray and Sharette Warthen, and they are from Zion Farm and Market. And we're going to be right back after this break, and we're going to talk more. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. This is 1520 WBZW, and I am Debbie O'Brien. And this is just a fascinating, very exciting conversation that we're having here. I have Ray and Sharette Warthen here, and they work with Zion Farms and Market. And the market, they just did this farmer's market for the first time last weekend, not this past one, but the last weekend. It was so successful. Yeah. And the energy that the two of you actually are bringing to the room is a lot. Yeah. This is awesome. Like your excitement and your this is really great.
Yes, we do. We have a lot of passion for why we're doing this. And I mentioned before, it's all about providing the nutritional education to the community, but also bringing in a focal event that it will happen every first and third Saturday of every month. But it'll be a family-focused event. You'll have pony rides, you'll have food and fun, and we're looking to bring in, we have cooking demonstrations, and they're going to be talking about healthy eating and also giving out some samples and using the fresh fruits and vegetables that we grow there on the farm in those cooking demonstrations. We're going to have entertainment, and it'll be fun, a nice community event where everyone can get together. And at the end of the day, it's about supporting the youth. Getting the youth excited about growing vegetables, learning the process, understanding you are what you eat. So make sure what you put in your body is healthy and nutritious, and get a better understanding of why that's so important. And so we're really passionate about what we're doing. We have a lot going on the farm, and just excited to partner with other organizations that have similar missions as us. We're looking for more vendors as well. So anyone out there who wants to sell their products, we're focused on bringing Florida-based businesses into the fold. And so it's about supporting people in our community. We have this guy who's coming on board. He's a local beekeeper, and so he he has his honey products that he sells. Another lady who does spices, another woman who has natural soaps that she's bringing to the table.
And I want to say most of the events we came out, they sold out. So they did pretty well for the vendors who were part of the market. Even the food truck that was out there, everyone did really well.
So what are the hours of the market?
From 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay. 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And for the first time, the people that were there, it was sold out.
Yeah.
The vendors, food truck,
everything that they brought, they pretty much by around 1:45ish, they're like, well, should we stay because we sold out of stuff? I'm like, just hang out, talk about your products, But we're excited and we're looking to grow.
And what we're doing, we also want to provide a new platform for local businesses here as well. Small businesses, other chefs or food trucks in the area that don't have the platform. This is a good way for them to have a platform for us as well.
So how do we go about doing that? Do you have I do know this. You have an online form, or
yes, you can go to the website. It's www.zionfarmsandmarket.org. You can also look us up on Facebook at Zion Farms and Market, and check out the vendor form. It's a very reasonable fee, and reach out to us if you have any other questions.
Oh, that's good. Like you said, you want local. Yes. There are so many people here that are so talented and are doing this thing. So this is a really great way that instead of having the building, which is intimidating to people.
Yes. No, this is open. Come out to the farm. All of our vendors people come out. They come out to the farm. It's a natural setting. We take a walk through. We'll show them everything, and it's an experience.
Absolutely.
And that we have, and we're bringing a new aspect. It's a natural springhead pond. So after the gardening is done, there's a natural springhead pond that's out there. We're going to plan to clear that out and turn it into a fishing pond, bringing in bluegills, brims, and bass. We're going to make a wood bridge deck that goes out, extends over the pond. Then we're going to have a sun deck that arches around, so everybody can come back, kick back, relax, and enjoy the afternoon with a beautiful sunset. The sunset sets literally within sight of the pond.
So it's really just a place where people can come together and meet others in their community and get back to local, right? And put down the cell phones, have the kids come out and get their hands dirty and experience, just experience planting and growing and what that looks like. And see their hard work come to fruition and something that's edible and delicious.
So one of the aspects that we bring is from Zion. We not only sustainability from a food aspect, but from an energy aspect as well. We're looking to make Zion Farms one of the first LEED certified solar farms. We've come in, even before the pump that got there, we brought in, we stripped out all the old wiring and the lights, and we replaced, there's an old light bulb called Old Rufus. Everyone's to come out and do this to the farm. I'll show them Old Rufus. Rufus is a 175-watt light bulb, and this light bulb burned 24 hours a day. That's 175 watts per hour. So we retired Rufus, and we put in a 175-watt light bulb and replaced it with a 54-watt light bulb, also with a photo cell where literally dusk to dawn. So it only comes on during the evening and not burning energy all day long. It's been a great experience stripping out the wiring. And we had our ups and downs with the hurricanes and other events that have happened, but we kept pressing forward, and we're going to plan to definitely make it better and better. And it's going to be a good experience. The archery aspect, we will definitely touch on that as well. Yes.
Archery. These are the fun things that, our kids are just longing for.
Yeah. And one of the things that we uncovered as we were looking more into it is that, unfortunately, there are a lot of archery scholarships that go unfunded each year. And so we thought about all of the kids who are looking for financial resources to go to school. And we're like, well, we have this area that's dedicated as an archery range. The owner of the property is a 20-some-odd-year veteran, and Vietnam he has many years of archery experience. And we're also pairing with
Coach Phil Graves is a level 4 Olympic trainer, so that's our coach for archery as well. He's on board to get us up and going. And
so we have a program called Archery for Scholars. We're trying to open up registration by the within a month or so, and open up registration for classes so kids can learn the skill of archery. It requires a lot of focus and discipline, and that's something that they can take throughout their life. It'll be tailored feedback. It'll be personal coaching. We're developing these young kids to be excellent leaders, to stand out in the community, and to have, a standard of excellence. And that's what we're about.
And just last year, one of the national champions in archery is a 14-year-old kid. 14 years old.
So we want those types of kids coming out of our program.
What a great thing! I mean, these are things that we don't have here. I'm thinking with the archery, the kids that are in Scouts, they get to go to Camp Lenoche and they get to do that kind of. But then once they leave, that's it.
No outlet. No. And with our program, we're going to teach them the science behind archery, not just shooting a bow. We're going to teach them the calculus, the physics, the parabolic trajectory, the kinetic and static energies that goes into it, and teach them the actual mathematics of what it takes to make that bow react. Even on the farming aspect, we're not going to just teach them how to plant plants. No, we're going to teach them about the pH. You're going to test them. Actually have a soil test kit to test the alkaline and acidity of the soils of what they're planting. So you'll understand. We had a couple of mother and son come out a couple weeks ago, and they wanted to make a raised bed and for a sunflower bed. And they came out, and he left the black cow bags. I believe them on purpose. People are like, oh, man, you guys have black cows. I said, yeah, we do. Our black cow's a little different. We actually have the original black cow. We go back there in the cow pasture and get our own manure. And that's what we did. I went out there, got the manure. We mixed it up, put the water on it, put it on the ground, tilled it under, and now we have these mammoth sunflowers growing. And that area was what I called the Eye of Zion, because sunflowers, they naturally follow the sun.
Right.
So I want to do a video of the sunflower waking up, following the sun. You see a shift and transition with the sun. And they've gotten really large, along with the corn we have growing now. So, and as soon as we started growing corn, the crows showed up. The crows are not out there. But until we started growing corn about 4 foot tall, the crows came out of nowhere. So now we have to eventually get a scarecrow to get out there. Because, but we had a chance between the raccoons.
You build it, they will come. That's right.
Yes, they are.
Literally.
The birds and bees, we have bees out there, so they're hearing about Zion as well. All the animals, like, hey, what's going on over here?
Oh, this is exciting.
Yes.
Well, we have to take another break. You're welcome to stay, right?
Yeah,
okay, we'll be right back.
Absolutely.
Thanks for tuning in. 1520 WBZW. We have Ray and Sherette here with Zion Farms and Market. We'll be right back. I needed to look up. Thanks for tuning in. 1520 WBZW. This is your hometown with Debbie O'Brien. And this is just so incredible what you guys are doing for our community. This is Ray and Sherette. They are with Zion Farm and Market, which was a farm that was there. You keep calling it a garden. So when I think
really
garden, I'm thinking this table.
Oh no,
this is a big piece of property you're working on.
It's about 20 acres. The whole site is actually about 20 acres.
So the whole property is about 20 acres of land, and then when we say our garden, that's the area where we grow our fruits.
The garden itself is about more than a half acre itself. It's a pretty significant garden when you look at it. We didn't realize how large, and we actually extended the garden further out. So it's a rather good size garden.
Because the foundation of this property was there. It just needed to be uncovered again.
Yes,
Absolutely. To be found and given love. And that's what you've been working tirelessly for a year.
Absolutely. We continue to give it love, and it will need a lot of love in the future. So I mentioned before, any volunteers, any support that the community can provide. We're here doing this all to help the community as well and to give back. And so
in the future, we're going to have pictures of what the garden looked like before us. It was 8 foot tall grass. And my wife would say, I'm not a spider fan, but when we got out there,
he will run.
I had to man up, because even in the barn back there, it was very tough and challenging. But just to give people a quick background of people ask who we are and why do we do this. And I tell people it's more of a passion. I tell people I'm one generation off of a farm, and so I spent a lot of time. My father used to tend to hogs, and they called them hoggy. We have a garden in our backyard. But where the core of my passion comes from, so my great-grandmother's property, which is in Live Oak Lake City. Most people may know it's north of Gainesville. Real small town. We spent our time up there on the farm working with her. And when she passed away, she had an old wood house and a tin roof. You could hear the palmetto bugs hitting the tin roof in the evening time. It was real country, as people say. And when she passed away, she donated a lot of property, and in turn, they named the street after my great-grandmother. Her name was Esther Mae Cooley, and there's a street there, her name Cooley Way, named after her. And she gave away a lot of property to the school board. So that's where that passion comes from. And then the science background as well, the chemistry aspect as well, that comes with that. So.
And then you're the marketer.
Yes, I'm the marketer.
Brains and power.
So
brains and power.
Yep. So definitely, we established our Facebook account, and I was telling you, like, we really weren't sure how many people would come to the first one, and we were so excited when people just really showed up and showed out and said, "Listen, we've been waiting for this for a really long time. We're so excited. We're going to keep coming back and supporting. We love what you're doing here. Where can we sign up to learn more about getting our kids involved in the youth program?" And so, I refer them to our website, www.zionfarmsandmarket.org. And you can check us out on Facebook as well. And the community support has been outstanding.
Yeah, because this truly is a need. You're fulfilling the desire that people we're just longing for. First and foremost, the bringing the community together on something that now we can go to every other week, and then hopefully grow that even more.
Yes.
But just going outside, being a part of it, and then the farmers market itself.
Yeah.
To have all of this. independent distributors or the people that have these incredible crafts and, you know, the homegrown. Yes, this is so exciting.
Absolutely.
It's definitely experience. Not just the archery aspect is teaching kids, just the science behind that. And people ask me in the garden, well, how do you get into it? What the chemistry and organics? I said, well, I studied up to nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. So I have chemistry is one of my strong points.
That's your background?
Oh, no, my background is engineering as well, and civil and construction management. But when unfortunately, we couldn't study general chemistry. We had to take chemistry for scientists and engineers. So our studies went literally up to nuclear fission and fusion, way beyond where we needed to go. I never use it again, but that helped out in this aspect of the gardening and farming. So
yeah,
it helps out, yeah.
Isn't that something when there's a purpose and you might not be able to see it?
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
but when you look back, you're like, oh, that's why.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
the one mole leaders of all this chemistry stuff. It's just,
Yeah.
I
So
even got into the triple bond breaking, double bond breaking with one guy. I guess he was into science as well. I guess he wanted to test the knowledge and see. Now, once I start telling the reactions to different things, like, oh, okay, I'm okay, you got it. You good to go. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, so.
So it's definitely been a long time coming to get to this point. You know, we started out with 8-foot weeds in this area, and it used to be the area where they used to take the horses out to graze, and the horses would just go right there, and
had a lot of fun.
they had fun. And then over the course of 5 or 6 years, this area went untouched. So it was a process to get it to where it is today. And
we removed over 1,468 grass root balls from the horses grazed. The tilling machine, we rented it to a commercial tiller, and it could not till through. And that's where you can literally hear the roots ripping as we with the shovel. We had to carve out each one just to pull it out of the ground, and I had to shake the sand off. In the middle of the summer, we had guys who were buff meisters that came from the gym, thought they could work on the farm. About an hour into it, hey man, is any piece in any Gatorade? I'm like, we only work an hour. You guys can't even realize farm life is a whole lot different. There were no breaks on the farm, so they realized it really quick. But granted, they helped us out.
So luckily that part is done. And so moving forward for our volunteers, it won't be that type of backbreaking work.
Now we're on maintenance mode.
Right, maintenance mode. And then once we have a harvest, we'll till under. And then the cool thing is you learn about companion gardening and like which fruits and vegetables work well with each other. And
you had mentioned that too.
And like why we use raised beds for certain things, you know. So you'll get to learn a lot just being there and seeing it on your own, and you can take that and use it in your own lives and start your own garden if you like, you know.
This has been an absolute pleasure, and I hope that if we can do this again, and we will continue to talk about it. There's so many great things that you're doing, and then we'll promote it as we go along.
Awesome. Check us out on Facebook, Zion Farms and Market.
We'll be right back. Thank you.
Great.